the Mahabharata of Krishna-Dwaipayana Vyasa. Translated into English prose from the original Sanskrit text by Pratap Chandra Roy C.I.E. This free ebook has been downloaded from holybooks.com. Sabha Parva. Section 80, Anudita Parva continued. Vasampayana said, as soon as Vidura endued with great foresight came unto him, King Dhritarashtra, the son of Amvika, timidly asked his brother, how doth Yudhishthira, the son of Dharma, proceed along? And how Arjuna? And how the twin sons of Madri? And how, O Kshatta, doth Dharmya proceed along? And how the illustrious Draupadi? I desire to hear everything, O Kshatta, describe to me all their acts. Vidura replied, Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, hath gone away covering his face with his cloth. And Bhima, O king, hath gone away looking at his own mighty arms. And Jishnu, Arjuna, hath gone away, following the king spreading sand grains around. And Sahdeva, the son of Madri, hath gone away besmearing his face, and Nakula, the handsomest of men, O king, hath gone away, staining himself with dust and his heart in great affliction. And the large-eyed and beautiful Krishna hath gone away, covering her face with her dishevelled hair following in the wake of the king, weeping and in tears. And O monarch, Dharmya goeth along the road, with kusa grass in hand, and uttering the awful mantras of Samaveda that relate to Yam. Dhritarashtra asked, tell me, O Vidura, why is it that the Pandavas are leaving Hastinapura in such varied guise? Vidura replied, though persecuted by thy sons and robbed of his kingdom and wealth, the mind of the wise king Yudhishthira the just hath not yet deviated from the path of virtue. King Yudhishthira is always kind, O Bharata, to thy children. Though deprived of his kingdom and possessions by foul means, filled with wrath as he is, he doth not open eyes. I should not burn the people by looking at them with angry eyes, thinking so, the royal son of Pandu goeth covering his face. Listen to me as I tell thee, O bull of the Bharata race, why Bhima goeth so? There is none equal to me in strength of arms, thinking so Bhima goeth repeatedly stretching forth his mighty arms. And, O king, proud of the strength of his arms, Vrikodra goeth, exhibiting them and desiring to do unto his enemies deeds worthy of those arms. And Arjuna the son of Kunti, capable of using both his arms in wielding the Gandiva, followed the footsteps of Yudhishthira, scattering sand grains emblematical of the arrows he would shower in battle. O Bharata, he indicated that as the sand grains are scattered by him with ease, so will he rain arrows with perfect ease on the foe, in time of battle. And Sahdeva goeth besmearing his face, thinking, none may recognize me in this day of trouble. And, O exalted one, Nakula goeth staining himself with dust thinking, lest otherwise I steal the hearts of the ladies that may look at me. And Draupadi goeth, attired in one piece of stained cloth, her hair dishevelled, and weeping, signifying, the wives of those for whom I have been reduced to such a plight, shall on the 14th year hence be deprived of husbands, sons and relatives and dear ones and smeared all over with blood, with hair dishevelled and all in their feminine seasons enter Hastinapura, having offered oblations of water unto the manes of those they will have lost. And O Bharata, the learned Dharmya with passions under full control, holding the kusa grass in his hand and pointing the same towards the southwest, walketh before, singing the mantras of the Samaveda that relate to Yam. And, O monarch, that learned Brahmana goeth, also signifying, when the Bharatas shall be slain in battle, The priests of the Kurus will thus sing the Soma mantras for the benefit of the deceased. And the citizens, afflicted with great grief, are repeatedly crying out, "Alas, alas, behold our masters are going away. O fie on the Kuru elders that have acted like foolish children in thus banishing heirs of Pandu from covetousness alone. Alas, separated from the son of Pandu, we all shall become masterless. What love can we bear to the wicked and avaricious Kurus? Thus, O king, have the sons of Kunti, endued with great energy of mind, gone away, indicating, by manner and signs, the resolutions that are in their hearts. And as those foremost of men had gone away from Hastinapura, flashes of lightning appeared in the sky though without clouds, and the earth itself began to tremble. And Rahu came to devour the sun, although it was not the day of conjunction. And meteors began to fall, keeping the city to their right. And jackals and vultures and ravens and other carnivorous beasts and birds began to shriek and cry aloud from the temples of the gods and the tops of sacred trees and walls and housetops. And these extraordinary calamitous portents, O king, were seen and heard, indicating the destruction of the Bharatas as the consequence of thy evil counsels. Vasampayana continued, and, O monarch, while King Dhritarashtra and the wise Vidura were thus talking with each other, there appeared in that assembly of the Kauravas and before the eyes of all, the best of the celestial rishis. And appearing before them all, he uttered these terrible words, "On the 14th year hence, the Kauravas, in consequence of Duryodhana's fault, will all be destroyed by the might of Bhima and Arjuna." And having said this, that best of celestial rishis, adorned with surpassing Vedic grace, passing through the skies, disappeared from the scene. Then Duryodhana and Karna and Sakuni, the son of Suvala, regarding Drona as their sole refuge, offered the kingdom to him. Drona then, addressing the envious and wrathful Duryodhana and Dasasana and Karna and all the Bharata, said, "The Brahmanas have said that the Pandavas, being of celestial origin, are incapable of being slain. The sons of Dhritarashtra, however, having, with all the kings, heartily and with reverence sought my protection, I shall look after them to the best of my power. Destiny is supreme, I cannot abandon them." The sons of Pandu, defeated at Dice, are going into exile in pursuance of their promise. They will live in the woods for 12 years. Practicing the brahmacharya mode of life for this period, they will return in anger and to our great grief take the unblessed vengeance on their foes. I had formerly deprived Drupda of his kingdom in a friendly dispute. Robbed of his kingdom by me, O Bharata, the king performed a sacrifice for obtaining a son, that should slay me. Aided by the ascetic power of Yaja and Upyaja, Drupda obtained from the sacrificial fire a son named Drishtadayumna and a daughter, viz., the faultless Krishna, both risen from the sacrificial platform. That Drishtadayumna is the brother-in-law of the sons of Pandu by marriage, and dear unto them. It is for him, therefore, that I have much fear. Of celestial origin and resplendent as the fire, he was born with bow, arrows, and encased in mail. I am a being that is mortal. Therefore it is for him that I have great fear. That slayer of all foes, the son of Pashakta, hath taken the side of the Pandavas. I shall have to lose my life, if he and I ever encounter each other in battle. What grief can be greater to me in this world than this, ye Kauravas, that Drishtadayumna is the destined slayer of Drona? This belief is general. That he hath been born for slaying me hath been heard by me and is widely known also in the world. For thy sake, O Duryodhana, That terrible season of destruction is almost come. Do without loss of time, what may be beneficial unto thee. Think not that everything hath been accomplished by sending the Pandavas into exile. This thy happiness will last for but a moment, even as in winter the shadow of the top of the palm tree restayeth, for a short time, at its base. Perform various kinds of sacrifices, and enjoy, and give, O Bharata, everything thou likest. On the 14th year hence, a great calamity will overwhelm thee. Vasampayana continued, hearing these words of Drona, Dhritarashtra said, O Kshatta, the preceptor hath uttered what is true. Go thou and bring back the Pandavas. If they do not come back, let them go treated with respect and affection. Let those my sons go with weapons and cars, and infantry, and enjoying every other good thing. Thus ends the 80th section in the Anudyuta Parva of the Sabha Parva. Section 81, Anudyuta Parva continued. Vasampayana said, defeated at dice, after the Pandavas had gone to the woods, Dhritarashtra, O king, was overcome with anxiety, and while he was seated restless with anxiety and sighing in grief, Sanjay approaching him said, O Lord of the earth, having now obtained the whole earth with all its wealth and sent away the sons of Pandu into exile, why is it, O king, that thou grievest so? Dhritarashtra said, what have they not to grieve for, who will have to encounter in battle those bulls among warriors the sons of Pandu, fighting on great cars and aided by allies? Sanjay said, O king, all this great hostility is inevitable on account of thy mistaken action, and this will assuredly bring about the wholesale destruction of the whole world. Forbidden by Bhishma, by Drona, and by Vidura, thy wicked-minded and shameless son Duryodhan sent his Sutha messenger commanding him to bring into court the beloved and virtuous wife of the Pandavas. The gods first deprived that man of his reason unto whom they sent defeat and disgrace. It is for this that such a person seeth things in a strange light. When destruction is at hand, evil appeareth as good unto the understanding polluted by sin, and the man adhereth to it firmly. That which is improper appeareth as proper, and that which is proper appeareth as improper unto the man about to be overwhelmed by destruction, and evil and impropriety are what he liketh. The time that bringeth on destruction doth not come with a praised club and smash one's head. On the other hand, the peculiarity of such a time is that it maketh a man behold evil in good and good in evil. The wretches have brought on themselves this terrible, wholesale, and horrible destruction by dragging the helpless princes of Panchala into the court. Who else than Duryodhan, that false player of dice, could bring into the assembly with insults, the daughter of Drupta endued with beauty and intelligence, and conversant with every rule of morality and duty, and sprung not from any woman's womb but from the sacred fire. The handsome Krishna, then in her season, attired in one piece of stained cloth when brought into the court cast her eyes upon the Pandavas. She beheld them, however, robbed of their wealth, of their kingdom, of even their attire, of their beauty, of every enjoyment, and plunged into a state of bondage. Bound by the tie of virtue, they were then unable to exert their prowess. And before all the assembled kings, Duryodhan and Karna spake cruel and harsh words unto the distressed and enraged Krishna, undeserving of such treatment. O monarch, all this appeareth to me as foreboding fearful consequences. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjay, the glances of the distressed daughter of Drupta might consume the whole earth. Can it be possible that even a single son of mine will live? The wives of the Bharatas, uniting with Gandhari upon beholding virtuous Krishna, the wedded wife of the Pandavas, endued with beauty and youth, dragged into the court, set up frightful wail. Even now, along with all my subjects, they weep every day. Enraged at the ill treatment of Draupadi, the Brahmanas in a body did not perform that evening their Agnihotra ceremony. The winds blew mightily as they did at the time of the universal dissolution. There was a terrible thunderstorm also. Meteors fell from the sky, and Rahu by swallowing the sun unseasonably alarmed the people terribly. Our war chariots were suddenly ablaze, and all their flagstaffs fell down foreboding evil unto the Bharatas. Jackals began to cry frightfully from within the sacred fire chamber of Duryodhan, and asses from all directions began to bray in response. Then Bhishma and Drona, and Kripa, and Somadeta and the high-souled Vahlika, all left the assembly. It was then that at the advice of Vidura, I addressed Krishna and said, I will grant thee boons, O Krishna, indeed, whatever thou wouldst ask. The princes of the Panchala there begged of me the liberation of the Pandavas. Out of my own motion I then set free the Pandavas, commanding them to return to their capital on their cars and with their bows and arrows. It was then that Vidura told me, even this will prove the destruction of the Bharata race, viz., this dragging of Krishna into the court. This daughter of the king of Panchala is the faultless Shri herself. Of celestial origin, she is the wedded wife of the Pandavas. The wrathful sons of Pandu will never forgive this insult offered unto her. Nor will the mighty bowmen of the Vrishni race, nor the mighty warriors amongst the Panchalas suffer this in silence. Supported by Vasudeva of unbaffled prowess, Arjuna will assuredly come back, surrounded by the Panchala host. And that mighty warrior amongst them, Bhimsena endued with surpassing strength, will also come back, whirling his make like Yam himself with his club. These kings will scarcely be able to bear the force of Bhima's make. Therefore, O king, not hostility but peace forever with the sons of Pandu is what seemeth to me to be the best. The sons of Pandu are always stronger than the Kurus. Thou knowest, O king, that the illustrious and mighty King Jasantha was slain in battle by Bhima with his bare arms alone. Therefore, O bull of the Bharata race, it behoveth thee to make peace with the sons of Pandu. Without scruples of any kind, unite the two parties, O king. And if thou actest in this way, thou art sure to obtain good luck, O king. It was thus, O son of Gavlagani, that Vidura addressed me in words of both virtue and profit, and I did not accept this counsel, moved by affection for my son. Thus ends the 81st section in the Anudyuta Parva of the Sabha Parva. Thus ends the Sabha Parva of the Mahabharata of Krishna-Dwaipayana Vyasa. If you enjoyed this audiobook, please like and subscribe to be notified of when new audiobooks are uploaded. Thank you for listening and learning. Shanti.